today with another Quick Thoughts review. Today is the Sandsune Stepper. We've been putting it to use for about 6 months now, both myself and my wife, occasionally my daughter. It's time to share my thoughts on what I think of it. Before we dig in, I want you to know I do have a full written review if you prefer that, or you just want some more details. Typically I can get a little bit more detailed in written format than I can in video. Link will be below. That'll take you to the Garage Gym Quarterly. It'll cost you a couple of bucks to access that quarterly magazine. However, you'll get access to more than just my review. There'll be all kinds of cool information targeted to you, specifically the Garage Gym athlete. Additionally, in the next Garage Gym Quarterly, I will have an interview with Matt Dahl, the CEO of Sandsune Stepper. I wanted to talk to him about the Sandsune Stepper, fill in the gaps on some of my knowledge and understandings of where it came from, who's it for, that kind of stuff. So check those out. Again, links will be down below when available. And as well, the second thing I want you to know is, so for transparency's sake, I bought this Sandsune Stepper out of my own pocket. No special discount codes, no kickbacks, no nothing. After talking to Matt, I mentioned I liked it so much, spoiler alert, that I was going to be buying a second one to take it to my office. I have a standing desk. I thought putting one there to stand on would not only alleviate some of the issues of standing, but would give me some active recovery, all kinds of stuff, help me with my ankles, those kinds of things. Matt was generous and sent me the second one for free. So, I don't want you to think that that has impacted my perception. The review was completed before I wrote that, or before I received that. However, full disclosure. So, let's dig in.
Alright, a quick primer. The Sandsune Stepper is an unstable training device made of a high-density foam packed into two different dunes, with a high and low side on each. Each dune functions independently by design, and the entire thing comes together with the anti-skid base wrapped in an antibacterial cover.
If you're sitting there saying, yeah, but Joe, I don't want to be one of those guys doing one-leg Romanian deadlift, balanced Bosu ball backflip with a juggling ball stance things. Yeah, I'm with you. That was one of the things that kept me from buying the Sandsune Stepper in the beginning, was seeing it and instantly saying, yeah, I mean, that's like a Bosu ball, those balance boards, all the other stupid party shit trick that people do, that I didn't want anything to do with. It never produced any results. Nobody ever got stronger, faster, leaner, anything with it. So what actually got me to take the plunge, which I recommend you check out, I'll have the link below, is a review from Adam at Garage Gym Lab. He went into a lot of the details around why you would buy a Sandsune Stepper, what it does, the proprioception, muscle activation, feedback, all these different things, and specifically talked about the Bosu ball and the differences. I'll have some of that in the interview with Matt as well, but I think checking out Adam's review is a great resource.
Over the course of the last 6 months, I've used the Stepper for a lot more than I had originally planned. In fact, it gets used every single day, typically multiple times a day, and often by my wife as well. The Sandsune Stepper gets used in my morning mobility work as well as my weekend active recovery workouts. My wife uses it after work to finish off her 8,000 step goal each day, and it's a very compact, easy to use, low impact, and deceptively effective cardio device. Much like walking on the beach, it is difficult to do much on the Stepper at any intensity or duration without it catching up to you. Be ready to feel muscles from your toes to your hips that you aren't accustomed to, and that thing bouncing inside your chest, well, that's your heart rate trying to keep up with the blood flow moving throughout your body. It's been so good at this basic work, I've actually not touched my Airdyne or rower since I bought the Stepper. Both are likely on their way out the door soon. What took me by surprise was the Stepper was when I started experimenting. I started using it for plyometrics first. Medicine balls rebound off the Stepper exceptionally well, and doing jumps, even at my 6 foot, 250 pounds, the sting of landing is completely gone. is an entirely new ball game trying to generate force off an unstable device and then land back on said device. This will light you up in the best way possible. Then we got really crazy and started incorporating the stepper into my actual workouts. Doing leverage squats or goblet squats on it absolutely destroys the legs. The muscle activation required to keep you stable turns every exercise into a constant tension torture device. No knee pain, 100% quad domination. Then we jumped to chest. I started pairing some band crossover work with push-ups on the Sanddune as a pre-exhaust to bench press. Not only is this removing the vast majority of my elbow issues, it is the nastiest chest pump I have ever felt. The activation of feeling every damn chest fiber light up is just unreal.
Alright, so it isn't all perfect with Sandsune Stepper. A lot of things I really like. However, when you flip it over, we start to get into some of the less than perfect stuff. So one, you'll notice if you buy one, it actually typically has this kind of bungee cord material. It's a strap that runs from here to here. It pulls this tight, it makes the top part tight, it kind of gives you just, it's a nice way to put it together. The problem is that on all three of mine, so I have the original cover, I have the one that I have at my office, and I have, this is a replacement cover that Matt sent me. All three, the strap has broke. So, it just doesn't work. Luckily, that doesn't impact the actual use of the unit. This stays on just fine. The nice part with it being tight is that it keeps this down and stuff like that and in place. But it's not like it ruins it. But that does suck. So I actually ended up, because mine broke so many times, I just cut it off on all of them. The other piece is so this is clearly supposed to be some type of like kind of anti-stick or anti-skid material. It doesn't work very well, especially when you have the strap on, because now the strap is actually the first thing that comes in contact with the ground. So if you're putting this on like hardwood floor or say a garage floor that's pretty slick, it's going to move a bit. It doesn't move on carpet, it doesn't move on mats, like horse stall mats or anything like that. As soon as you take the bungee cord off, it works better, but you still are competing at least a little bit with this really slick material. So the material's here, and this is kind of raised a little bit. So what I would like to see is some type of better handle thing here. Make this a little more prominent, I guess is maybe the term I would use. And then the other thing would be if you could fix this bungee cord, actually make it a handle. So pulling that bungee cord, it was too loose, which may have been the reason why it snapped a few times. If they could come up with something that was an actual handle, it would make carrying this a lot easier. That's it. Those are the downsides. Literally flipping it over and looking at the bottom and that one piece. Other than that, I can't find anything that's wrong with the Sandsune Stepper. Alright, I want to address the elephant in the room here, which is the price of this Sandsune Stepper. So, myself included and others that I've talked to, you see a $300 price tag for a piece of foam, and no matter what claims other people make, it tends to be kind of off-putting. I talked to Matt specifically about this in the interview I do with him. I'll share a couple of the notes there and a couple of the kind of realizations I've come to around the price. So one, he talks about the differences in the construction with this compared to, say, a Bosu ball or buying foam from your local mattress store or wherever else. He talks about why, what they do to make this and why it costs as much as it does compared to any other product. And then, of course, we talk about the results from different athletes and coaches and all kinds of stuff. So that's kind of that piece. So my realization aspect is one, you can get it down to $250 in free shipping with a discount code. Those discount codes are readily available for some reason you can't find one, you can legitimately direct message the Sandsune Stepper Instagram account and say, can I have a discount code, and they will make it happen. So that's already 50 bucks off, like I said, plus free shipping. When we compare it, there's three pieces that stand out in my mind. One is when we compare it to any other item in the gym that does, let's just say, cardio. So 250 bucks for this, or about 600 plus for the Rogue Echo bike, or over 1,000 for a rower. Ski ergs are up around, I think they're like 8 or so. So you're talking about much less space, much less investment for something that can essentially do the same things. I'm not saying they are the same thing, but they can accomplish a lot of the same goals in terms of cardiovascular. But obviously the Sandsune Stepper also does all the other stuff I've talked about already. Two would be if you are headed down the path of pain of any kind, or maybe you don't know that you have any issues, maybe you're squatting weird, whatever it might be, something that would lead you towards needing surgery of any kind or any kind of professional intervention. $250 if the Sandsune Stepper was to work for you, which it seems to be doing for me, is a whole hell of a lot cheaper than just about any other option. Even with really good insurance, talking to a chiropractor, talking to a PT, talking about knee replacements and surgeries and all kinds of stuff, those things add up stupid fast. So, and this is way preferable to a knee surgery or anything where they got to dig in and do crazy stuff to you. So that's two. Three would be, most of us probably spend at least a couple $100s a year on various pills, potions, powders, and different stuff in the attempt to make us stronger, faster, leaner, meaner, whatever it might be. Most of those, I mean, I take supplements, but most of the research and stuff shows it just doesn't do much. However, if you were to take even that $250 of that and put it towards the stepper, I think you have a legitimate argument for something that actually would make you leaner, meaner, stronger, faster, more resilient, all kinds of stuff. So those are my three kind of argument points for the price. All right, everyone, after 6 months, that's it for the Sandsune Stepper. In my opinion, you take all the other balance devices, Bosu balls, balance boards, whatever other stuff, you take all the bad stuff, you throw it in the garbage, take all the good stuff, you put it in here. They've done an incredible job at making this compact, efficient, effective, and in my mind, when you factor in all those pieces, very cost effective. So it does more in less time, in less space than anything else that I'm aware of on the market. I've heard from other coaches and athletes that if they were starting over their gym tomorrow, this would be one of the first things they'd add. Some even say it's maybe the only thing they absolutely need. That may be a bit of a stretch, but I can totally see where they're coming from. You can do pretty much everything on this, getting a little creative. It just seems to do so much, it seems to do everything correct every time I do it. So if you need more info, links below. Like I said, written review from myself and Adam from Garage Gym Lab. As well as, of course, you can ask me any questions, comments you have below. So thanks, guys.